A very, very good evening to you, and welcome along right here at Cosby. Whereabouts in Cosby? It's Foxlands Farm. And hey, thank you so much for joining us for this special outside broadcast. You're of course with Stu Bear, and not just Stu Bear. We've got a special guest tonight, and I shall just point the camera over so we can say hello, everybody. There's our Steve.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. This is GP Media, I do believe, yes?
Yes, that's me.
As we live and breathe. Could you just do a quick turnaround? There we go. Show everybody. Hey, look, he is in the room. He's got the Airshow World Top. And great. Hey, listen, what we've been doing today, we've been down here getting a few of the movements. Let's get a better microphone set up for you. There we go. Oh, that's better. Sorry, I forgot to put the microphone at the top. We've been getting a few of the aircraft arriving and also getting a few interviews as well. What it's all about, let me tell you, it's about this weekend's Victory Air Show. And of course, it's not just an air show. We've got all the reenactors down here. So let's go on a wider angle and you'll be able to see tanks and jeeps and rigs of every size. They're all over the place. And there's still a few modern day vehicles. By tomorrow they will all be gone and it'll just be all these old. Look at that one. Absolutely wonderful. So when you come through the gates, you're going to think you've just been transported way back to 1940, and it's absolutely wonderful to be back down here. We were here in the same spot exactly 12 months ago, and it is it's wonderful to be back. And so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be bringing you the atmosphere, telling you all about the Victory Show, and also we've got a few interviews, and of course we're going to see some flying as well with the aircraft that's arrived. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to move the camera round to this young man here, and Steve is going to tell us what delights in the chocolate box we have for the air show, what aircraft are actually flying. So let me spin the rudder. He's somewhere behind me. Get off. Let's move it round. Where is he? Oh, you're over there.
Okay, so I was going to check this, but I wasn't prepared for Stu to come straight to me now. However, I believe the list is 3 Spitfires, Mark 5, Mark 9, and a PR-19, the Rolls-Royce Spitfire. The Rolls-Royce Spitfire is only flying on the Sunday. The P-51 Mustang Contrary Mary is currently here on the ground. That flew in earlier. There's the Bouchon White 14. The Blenheim is down. The Lysander from Arco is down to display here, which of note is the first time it's displayed away from Duxford anywhere that isn't Old Warden. So that's quite special to have that on here. PBY-5A Catalina Miss Pickup, that's currently here, and the C-47 Dakota Pegasus from oh god, who are they now? Air Leasing, whichever company that is now it belongs to. That's currently in here as well. Just trying to think off the top of my head. I don't think there's much. Did
you mention the Lancaster? That's just been
added.
Last
minute confirmation as of half an hour ago. The Lancaster is down for Saturday only. And as well, on the Sunday, performing just a fly past, you've got the Red Arrows.
Ooh, fantastic. Okay.
I'll look and confirm if there's anything else and let you know. Thank
you very much, young man. Young man, there's no need to frown so much. No, he's smiling. Look at it. He's been brilliant today. That's our Steve over there. So thank you very much for that. Now, if we look way in the distance over there, no, I'm not talking about the smoke that's going up. That's, hey, somebody's cooking something nice. I can smell it from here. You can see the Catalina that came in, and we will show you that also when we start the videos. But hey, if you can pass the video around, do a bit of sharing, and a little bit of information about coming in tomorrow. So I'll just check with Steve. Steve, how much you can pay at the gates, can't you?
You can. I will confirm the price for you and get back to you.
All right, do that. And also, hey, if you're a veteran of the Second World War or you know you've got a great granddad, great granddad, right, or whatever, right? If for them and a plus one, they can actually come along, right, for absolutely free and be in the VIP tent. All right, so if you're a veteran, but not just that, if you're a veteran also of the Falklands conflict.
Falklands War.
Yeah, stop lifting that up. The Falklands conflict. Yeah, you are also invited as well. So that would be for you and your plus one. In other words, your helper, your carer, your wife, whatever.
Mistress.
All right. That's making a horrible sound when you lift that up. All right. So only when I tell you. It's all right, I have to sort of get the whip out occasionally. Right, just before going to the first item, quickly say hi to a couple of people, our wonderful folks in the chat room, and that is Coningsby Live is with us, SHGP Media, I'm not sure who he is, and we also have Dandy and Gary Inge, Becky Davis, Andy Allen, good afternoon everyone, and Stubag, good to see you there my boy. Becky Davis, Dick and McVitie, and who else? Marcus Camfield, keep the rolling down, hey, Michael Weber, hey, and also Bitten, how are you? Wonderful to see you there, and sorry I missed you out last week. Hannah F, and we've got Jilly and Peter saying, evening Stu, Gary Inge, and who else? If I do miss you out, I do apologise, but you can imagine it's all a little bit hectic. If you're looking in the chat room and say, hey, why is he in green and got a star next to him? That's because he's a member of Air Show World. And if you'd like to be a member, hey, just click on that little button. Neil, hello Neil, and what have we got here? He's showing me the prices. Okay, I tell you what, I'll let Steve tell us about that. So then, you can pay at the gate, can't you, young man?
Okay, I'm allowed to lift this up now?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Not too loud, Howie.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Saturday, stand by. Adults, entry £25. Children under 16, £15. Infants free. That's the same on Saturday and Sunday.
All right, and you can pay, obviously.
Pay on the gate. I believe it's cash only on the gate.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can they still get tickets online?
I'm going to say yes. I don't see why not. You would get an e-ticket. Right. But yeah, I if personally, at this late, I'd go with cash on the gate. Okay,
fantastic. Thank you very, very much indeed. Right, that's our main man over there. Right, we're going to get into that chocolate box of videos, as we said, and let's see what we can pull out, all right? Don't forget, keep the messages coming into the chat room, and we'll Spinderella again in just a moment with the, if there's any tanks or anything like that, we'll come back and we'll show you those live. All right, so you're getting the idea of what it's like down here. There we go, a little bit further round. Just before we do go to the video items, where we're looking at right now, that is where the main reenactment is going to take place. All around there, lots of tanks and explosions, pyrotechnics, you name it. That's all going to be happening there. And let's go round a little bit more, and we will put the camera in that direction while you guys, hey, see what we got up to earlier in the day. So, hey, play VT. Here we go.
downwind left hand for 01. So Romeo, roger.
Well, I hope you're getting the sort of idea of what this wonderful place actually looks like. And that runway, the grass runway, it is absolutely brilliant. If you want to be transported back in time, hey, be here. It's tomorrow, and I think it's 9 o'clock the gates open. Is it 9? Yep, 9 o'clock the gates open, and in the morning you've got all these reenactors. Hey, go round, wake them up. You may even get a cup of tea off them, I don't know, or hey, bring a flask along for them. And because if I just go to another wide angle shot, right, you'll see all these tents. So but also over to the left hand side, all those trees, well, that's the wooded area, and in there we're going to actually take you in there in a short while with some interviews there coming up very soon. But the guys in there, they've dug out trenches, all sorts of things, and they're going to be sleeping in tents in there as well. So I said to them, one of them, I said, hey, so you know, what have you got, a caravan round the back, a nice posh motorhome or something? No, we're sleeping in the tent. What about the dugout? Yeah, some of us in there if they don't behave. So, but it's got to be tomorrow. If you're in the area, I recommend it. It's going to be a fantastic weekend, and the idea is to hey, just bring you a little bit of the atmosphere, because we are absolutely live right now. It's just coming up to 7:15 on Friday the 2nd of September. Yeah, sorry, I was just checking with my man just here. I was holding two fingers. Yeah. Just before we go into the next item that we've got coming up for you, going to say hello, how you doing, with a deep voice to a couple of folks. In fact, we're going to give a very special mention to Claire Lee, and she says, hi Stu, looking forward to going to the Victory Show tomorrow. Hope to catch up with you there. That's from Claire, Dave and Amy. Well, I hope to be, right, you know the lay of the land, over to the right hand side of there. So hey, that's where the bear hopefully will be. All right, so that's tomorrow, and Steve is going to be down here doing some filming for me on Sunday. So yeah, he'll do brilliant. He's the man. He's the man. Right, who wants to come and say hi to before we get into the next item? Well, we've got Malcolm, James, Gary Inge, and also Karen Kokoran has just joined us. Hey, Karen, how the devil are you on this good, hey, wonderful Friday night? And the weather's not been too bad here at all today. Stephen Billings is there, and one other, oh, we've got Piotr. Hello Piotr, how are you? Right, next item coming up for you, like right now. So then, hey, we went into the woods, and I went into the woods with Steve. I know that sounds a little bit, you know, on the edge, but it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It was all good. We're going to show you some of that coming up right now. What happens where we can't see on the other side of those trees. Here we go. Let's hit it right now.
Hello, welcome to the Victory Show 2022, and this is one of our first interviews today. It's going to be with Craig Bagley from the Red Bull Express. Craig,
how you doing?
Hi,
How are
thank
you?
you very much. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what your group is?
As you just said, my name's Craig, and I am a member of the Birmingham MVT. And here behind me, we've got members of also North Staff's MVT and some Charnwood MVT members here today to represent at the Victory Show the Red Bull Express, which is an organisation that took place in World War II for the logistics of the movement of the stuff for the foot soldier on the ground. So all these vehicles that's in the background would carry all the products that the fighting man on the front line would need for his day within the army, like his water, his food, his ammunition, his clothing. All that was done by the vehicles behind you, which is portraying the Red Bull Express. And here in the background you can see the sign that we have illustrating what they did. It's clearly showing you the tonnage that they can move within a certain period of a time. So as the tonnage went up, the arrow moved up to portray the amount of stuff that they moved from the back line all the way to the front line. So hence the name the Red Bull Highway, because they created a highway system which was manned by the MP, the military police, and it was a one-way, all-the-way highway. So the only vehicles that were allowed on the highway were the Red Bull Express vehicles. No other vehicles was allowed to go on the highway, just the Red Bull. It was a 24-hour non-stop operation, kept on moving. So when the drivers have got to their stage where they're fatigued, the truck would stop, that driver would get out, another driver would get in, and the truck would proceed forward onto the front line until they've reached their destination. So that is the fundamentals of the Red Bull Express, and that's what we're here today to represent for you lovely people who come down and see us.
You mentioned about let's say starting and then going to where was it generally starting from, and where was it
It started obviously from the ports. So the stuff would come in from the ships. So the trucks then will have designated areas, and they would all get loaded, and then they would go off to their destination. Obviously, because they travelled so far, they could be doing 400 miles in a day. So the drivers then need to change and put another driver in so the vehicle can get going. And they had rendezvous points where certain materials had to go. And as we stand in this field, there was fields like the size of this, and they was absolutely full of supplies.
Yes.
Supplies. I mean, we've just obviously trying to portray a small section of what would have happened. You know, tyres for the vehicles, because it's a fundamental part. There was a field full of tyres stacked up, went through tyres day in, day out. They just shredded them, you know, and stuff like that. Boxes of ammunition, boxes of food, boxes of blood, you know, because the wounded soldier needs his blood. And it was just from the front, just to feed the soldier, to keep him going forward, to do his job, for his end game.
Yeah.
And I think it was a short, only like a 6 months operation, until they actually got all the railroads back up and running.
Yes.
And then the railroads took over and then started moving the stuff further forward.
Yeah.
So it was just until they got the infrastructure back in place is they used the GMCs. So anything that could really carry something was used on the Red Bull Express.
Yeah.
You know, trailers, the biggest truck they've got, the Dragon Wagon, that was fully loaded with all the kit on it, all the heavy stuff, just anything that could carry a load, gone in a convoy to keep it moving, to keep the soldiers working.
Yeah.
So that is the fundamentals of the Red Bull Express, and this is why we're here today, just to give you guys a know that this was a massive part of World War II.
Yeah.
Even though the soldier on the front line was the man with his gun, but this was a massive part. Without this, the man at the front wouldn't happen, and everything else that took place on the front line to keep it going. So here we are at Victory Show. Come down and see us. Come down and see us. We also did the Red Bull Express ourselves. We're not just here displaying vehicles. We actually recreated with a majority of these vehicles a 1,600 mile trip across France, recreating the Red Bull route. So quite a lot of the vehicles here actually did the 1,600 mile trip from...
This is the information which ran on the back.
Yeah, so we've got some quick information on the back. Just quickly show you. So these are some of the pictures we've got of what the guys would have done. The fuel was the main thing they moved. Yeah, what can happen to the vehicles. Stationing yards, where all the goods were coming, unloaded on the trucks. There's one of the convoys. they just kept on going, and all the leftovers when they've used the fuel, and that's how they used to start off. Lines and lines of trucks used to just leave as one convoy, and that's just some of the pictures that we did when we went across France to recreate the Red Bull Express ourselves. And as we are reenactors, we sometimes do the real thing. An accident took place, but we've recovered it with the equipment we've got, like what have happened on the day.
Yeah.
Got it back on the road, and away we went.
How was your serviceability doing things like that? Vehicles being as old as they are.
Yeah, they all went well. That one of mine there, it just broke a clutch return spring. Did the whole trip there and back, no problem. We had a Dodge that had a head gasket go. We had another GMC, that one there. The clutch went onto it, and we fixed it on the night, back on the road the next day. Everybody got home. So we're here, we've done the actual Red Bull, and we've created it, and we'd like you guys to come down and see us. Thank you very much.
All right, well, okay.
And we'll get straight back to more of those really brilliant interviews, and what a great insight. And when you go round, you see these guys, so hey, just talk to them, ask them all about it, because earlier today, because it's open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but on the Friday they have lots of school kids that come down and learn about history. And so of course, hey, if you're bringing the kids along at the weekend, you know, ask the guys, and they're only too keen to tell you all about it. But I tell you what you really will enjoy tomorrow is all the pyrotechnics. They will love it, the kids will love it, all the pyrotechnics all going off, and that's going to be right behind me, where we pointed the camera just a little bit earlier. And hey, don't forget, we've got more flying aviation stuff coming up in just a few moments, and of course more interviews, but we're just being a little bit nosy at the moment. So what I'm going to attempt to do is do a complete, well, almost a 360 on a wide scale, so you can get the full feel of what it's like down here. We're on a little bit of a bank, and if I think they can come up here, can't they, to watch tomorrow? Yeah, they can come up here, and I believe so. I'm just on the other side of that hedge. There's a lot of chairs that have all been laid out, and as I said earlier, tomorrow there's going to be literally it's going to be crazy. There's going to be tanks, jeeps, and also there's going to be all of the soldiers walking behind. It's an absolutely brilliant atmosphere, and it's if you're in the area, certainly pop over. You won't be disappointed, and we'll just go around just a little bit more so you get the full feel of this brilliant location. It's Foxlands Farm, just near Cosby, and hey, it's great fish and chip shop in Cosby. It's all right, I just thought I'd get that plug in. And doesn't mean I'll get free fish and chips, I know that, but last night, pop down there, wonderful stuff. As there was a Spitfire flying over the top as well, and there will be Spitfires and all sorts. Now, just before we do go into the next item, what I'm going to do, because Steve has got an updated list of the aircraft for tomorrow, is that correct? So shall we pass over to you, is that all right? Okay, I will have to hopefully turn his microphone up. He's not ready yet. Okay, let's go for it. Go on then.
Right. Gonna make sure I get this right this time, because I missed quite a few notable exceptions. So you got the Bouchon White 14, TF51 Mustang Contrary Mary, Spitfire Mark 5, Spitfire Mark 9, Hurricane Mark 1, the Catalina, Sally B, is doing flypasts, Oster AOP 9, the Army Air Corps historic flight I forgot to mention, which we saw earlier. So you got the de Havilland Beaver, the Westland Scout, the Sioux, say the Dakota Pegasus is here, the Lysander I did mention. What I forgot to mention was the Traveller, which is a military version of the Staggerwing. and that is all of them according to the website. They said they were the ones that have been later added, like the Lancaster on the Saturday and the Red Arrows fly past on the Sunday.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, so we're going to get back to a little bit more flying, because that's what Airshow World's all about. And the flying display tomorrow, I think, starts around about, is it 2 or 2:30? That sort of time. That sort of time, yeah. Okay, right. We will go back into the video cam. Sorry it's not all sleek like it normally is on a Friday night, because I'm literally playing all of this from the video camera, because I'm not, hey, I'm outside, I'm not in the studio, and I've not got a fancy guy with lots of controls and all of that. Oh, hey, just before I do that, right. Chat room, you're the best. Absolutely, but occasionally what happens is when you type in away, because we all have this auto predict on the phones and what have you, and I daren't release this particular message by SHGP Media. It would certainly embarrass him. I'd probably be in trouble with YouTube, but yeah, it was, I'd love to tell you what he put. But it was just a case of predicted text. Shall I release it and embarrass him? No, I can't do that. It was something to do with being in the woods and talking to that guy, and the fact that holding his stomach in. But I'd love to tell you. Hey, I'll tell you in private. If you come and see me tomorrow, right, when I'm down here, I'll tell you. Right, let's get into the chocolate box of videos and see what we can pull out. Let's get in there and see if we can find some more aircraft. Don't forget, there was no flying today. It was just the arrival. So let's see what we can find for you. Here we go.
X-ray Hotel Romeo, roger, the runway in use is 01, and the surface wind is 020 less than 4, QNH 1014. 01, left hand circuit, QNH 1014, Golf Hotel Romeo taxiing for the 01 hold. Roger. Hotel Romeo is lining up 01. Hotel Romeo, roger, with service windows before with no conflict in traffic. Hotel Romeo. Roger, one aircraft Piper Cub just about to depart on 01. Visual traffic, sorry for a flight. your choice, so the DC-3 just approaching from the east.
I'll depart in the next 30 seconds. We'll call for departure. Instructor required.
Roger, we'll do after the DC-3.
Instructor required. Just to clarify, do you want me after or before?
Yes, Scout, you can depart once you're visual with the DC-3.
Okay, firm. Instructor required.
Yeah, when you're happy, depart when ready.
Alpha Fox turning downwind.
Alpha Fox, roger. Roger, thanks. No. Fox, welcome to Cosby, and you'll be parking on your left-hand side. It should be visual with the marshal. Alpha Fox.
Love that, absolutely. Now that's going to be displaying that C-47, hey, to me, Dakota. Whoa! And if you're here last year, well, if you were watching the beginning of the show before we actually went hit the live button, right, on the little build up that we did at around about 7:45, you'd have seen one of those, not that particular one, I don't think, no, but doing that display from last year at don't miss that. Hey, you know where to be. But of course, I'll be here recording everything, and we will be bringing that to you possibly next week, okay, because I'll put a little video together and what have you, and we'll do a little live studio show. Well, actually, it's going to be from the actual video editing van. That's where it's going to be. Because from Monday, I'm going to be, putting my feet up a little bit and down at Mildenhall for a few days. Well, actually, nearly 2 weeks. Because next weekend, going to be down at Duxford. Righty-ho! Oh, thank you very, very much. Andy Allen, thank you for the amazing PayPal donation. You are a true wonderful guy. Thank you, I really appreciate it. And to anybody else, you've been brilliant, you really have, with those donations. And if you'd like to do that, hey, there's a link at the top of the chat room, and you can just click on that. But thank you so much, love you to bits. Malcolm James, hello, and Owen Pole, SHGP Media. Oh, sorry, he's right next to me. Yeah, I could touch him. Ah, get off, get off, get off, get off. I'm not saying anything after that spelling mistake that went into the chat room. And talking of which, we're going to go back into the woods one more time with Steve and Stu Bear, and hope there's no other bears about. Let's get in there right now. Play the video.
Okay, so if you go down to the woods today, you won't find a Teddy Bear's Picnic. What you will find is the 505th RCT. Here we've got Andy and Owen. Well, guys, thank you very much for spending some time to talk to us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you're from, and what group you're representing?
So this is the 82nd 505th American Airborne Regiment, and I'm from the Scarborough on the east coast. So I've travelled here today So we are representing a market garden, which was September 1944. So that's the kit they would have been wearing at that time.
Okay. And what displays have you got here today for the weekend for the public to see?
So we have multiple displays. We have, of course, the command post setup over here. We have the mortar pit over there and the machine gun crew, where we love to get the public down the foxholes, you know, show them what it's all about, teach them a bit of history along the way, you know, that's what it's all about.
Okay. Are you taking part in any of the skirmishes over the weekend?
Yes, I will be in both battles.
Okay, so there's, but it must explain to the public, there's battles in the woods as well as the main battle area, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and do you know what the timings are going to be over the weekend for the battles in here?
Unfortunately, I do not.
No, we haven't arranged that yet. It's as and when. It's different because there's different groups in here this year, more groups than normal.
Yes.
So we'll have to sort something out. But hopefully we'll be doing something both days. Maybe usually sort of maybe in the morning, maybe 11 o'clock time, and then maybe about 2 before the battle starts.
Okay. And lastly, for people behind wondering what this is, what vehicle have we got behind us?
It's a half track. Is this it's actually 1940s dated half track, this one. So we have this one. We've also got a couple of Jeeps as well. They're also 1940s Jeeps. This one was served in the American Army, given to the French, went to Israel, and then came back in this country and has been restored by one of the guys in the group.
And for anybody who's wondering why it's called a half track, you might not be able to see from this angle, but it has a set of standard wheels at the front, and at the back it has tracks like a tank, hence the name half track. Brilliant for off-road, brilliant for troop transport.
Fantastic. And also, very quickly, about the weapons you're carrying, what do you have with you?
So I have the standard issue M1, also known to the public as the M1 Grand. Every standard rifleman, like myself, would have been issued this until they either got the ranks, became an NCO, or they specialised either in mortar crew, bazooka crew, machine gun, and so on. But the majority of what you would find is this.
Fantastic.
Right, so I'm carrying Thompson. It's a M1A1 Thompson, 45 caliber rounds, 30 round stick mag. Good short range weapon, as I say. Very popular with all Allied forces throughout the war. So it's, like I say, NCOs usually carry one of these as well.
Okay, fantastic, Andy. Have you got to fire off a few rounds for us?
A few rounds for you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Okay. We're the 82nd Airborne 505th RCT. Welcome to Airshow World with Stu Bear.
So whilst at the victory,
And we'll get to the next interview just a little bit later. Hey, and of course we got another intro, so we'll be playing that quite a few times. And it was the same battalion as the ones who did it last year as well. You remember that? Hey, I normally played on the 30-minute warm-up of the actual show. Right, what we're going to do coming up fairly soon is get back to some more aircraft flying, and then we've got another interview coming up for you. Keep the messages coming into the chat room. Totally different show tonight, and I'm absolutely loving it, and I hope you're learning a little bit. And hey, history, that's what it's all about. And tomorrow, don't forget, if you know anybody and they're in the vicinity, right, and they're a veteran of either World War II, right, or a veteran of the Falklands War, if you'd like to come along tomorrow, you will be treated VIP treatment. Okay, so all you got to do, just Google it and go to the website, and there'll be a telephone number there where you can contact them right here. But hey, come along. You'll be able to bring one person with you, either your carer or your wife, your husband, whatever the case may be. All right, so that is especially for veterans from either the Falklands or, hey, World War II, and they're getting scarcer and scarcer. That's time moves on. That's one thing, we cannot stop time. But hey, we can take you back to the 1940s for sure, right here over this weekend. And what a great time we are having as the sun, well, it will be setting very soon on this Friday evening. We've still got a few more items to actually bring you, and I will check with Steve very soon if he wants to tell us a few more things about what to expect, but we'll probably do that when we come back in just a couple of moments. But just before I do go into the next item, we're going to say hello to a few more people, and it's Veronica, isn't it? That's I know from a couple of weeks ago, Veronica, you actually put that in, but I was thinking to myself, oh, I know, they don't pronounce their W's. Oh, what was it? What was that name? And we call her Veronica, so thank you. Hey, Mr. Mark Webster, how the devil are you? Always good to see my main man there from Shepshed. Not too far away there, Mark. Come on, get yourself down here tomorrow. You can get a beer down here. You can get all sorts of stuff. You can buy the bear a beer. And hey, yeah, we'll get some, probably the best video footage ever. You know, we'll get lots of grass. We'll get falling over water and stuff. But hey, we've also got a transport guy. I tell you, now, oh gosh, his name begins with J. Jason or something. Transport guy, one of the nicest young men you will meet, and I met him again, believe it or not, at Manchester a couple of weeks ago. So transport guy, thank you for joining us this evening. I really appreciate it. Julie is also with us. Hello, Julie. How are you doing down at the canal? Don't fall in that water, all right? Especially when you've had some falling down water. All right, I'm just trying to be funny. Doesn't work, does it? Let's also have a look. Are you there, son? I'm going to be in a different location on Sunday, but Steve will be down here filming for me. I've got another commitment to do. I've got to go to Old Warden and do some videoing down there. So hey, you're going to get some great video footage this weekend, I can tell you. But hey, the priority is this right here, the victory show. Right, let's get back in. We've only got 15 minutes of the show. It's the 60-minute show every Friday between 7 and 8 o'clock. You can catch my good self, Stu Bear, in the chair, but we're outside, we're having a great time. And just before we go into that, look, you can see the campfires. They're getting brighter and brighter because it's getting darker. Let's get into the videos right now.
Welcome to Cosby, and you'll see a marshal on your left-hand side.
Perfect question, Steve.
I just can't get over this fantastic location. It's unique. You know, yes, they have reenactments all over the country and what have you. They have air shows, but hey, just over to my right hand side, that is where the actual airfield is. So you saw the Catalina actually coming into land. They were all taken from earlier today, and you could just see, if we point the camera in that direction, that's the propeller of the Mustang, and we're going to see that coming in very, very soon. There were no displays today. It was just a few aircraft arriving, and you're going to see all of those aircraft throughout. Well, we've only got about another 10 minutes, whatever it is, left of the show. Don't forget, every Friday night you can catch Stu Bear, that's me, every Friday night between 7 and 8 o'clock. I'm going to move the camera around this way, and then we're going to have a quick word with Steve, who, as you've noticed, hey, oh, look at that. There we go. Can we put something on that? Hey, yeah. Bit of crumpet, yeah, do a bit of crumpet on that, and or pikelet, wherever part of the country you come from. It's all right, smiling away, you got to smile. And as we said earlier, so I'm going to, as I pan round, I'm going to switch Steve on, and he's going to give us a running order of tomorrow. Go for it.
Right then, so timings are subject to change, nothing has necessarily been confirmed, but going off the timings which have been the same now for the last few years, gates open at 9 o'clock, then you can wander around the show to Heart's Content. Aircraft arrivals will start coming in from 9 o'clock. There will be a skirmish in the wooded area about 11 o'clock. Then after that, the next main feature is the battle. They have a flight line walk from 12:30 till 1 o'clock, I think. That's is a little extra fee. Then say that everything starts preparing for the battle, all the vehicles will start moving around. We're going to the main arena. That usually lasts for about 45 minutes or so. After that, everything needs to reposition, and then the flying display starts. So we've gone over the aircraft. In the main battle this year, on the Allied side, there is a Chaffee, there's a Stuart knocking about, there's a Hellcat here. There's lots of half tracks as well, M14 half track as well, which are going to be in the next interview you'll see. On the German side, there is actually a Hetzer here, and it's authentic as well, so that's very interesting. It's worthwhile coming to see just for that. And then, let's say, there's the usual anti-artillery pieces, anti-tank guns and things like that, which take place with the pyros and everything. So yeah, if you've never been before, it's certainly a place to visit, because I think it's one of the most authentic looking battlefields that you get at any show.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, all we're looking at is the first field, and if I zoom in a little bit, there's another field in there. Hey, they're all partying. We'll have to go across there in a bit. And Mr. Webber, right, Mark Webber Webster, that's where the beer tent is. So hey, we'll have to make our way over there a little bit later, and food and all sorts of stuff. And also, hey, I noticed there's a Haribo's somewhere as well, and oh, chicken. All right, hey, we're getting a bit hungry. I've not eaten today, so yeah, we'll have to probably see if we can pop over there in a bit. But there we go, nice wide angle shot for you right now. And as I said earlier in the show, they're going to be sleeping in these, and also in, we saw the woods earlier, they're going to be, some of them, in those dugouts. There we go. They're having a good time over there with what a brilliant, wonderful atmosphere. And these guys are so enthusiastic about what they do. So if you come along, don't be afraid to talk to them, and they'll tell you all about it, and they are so knowledgeable there, and you can have a really good history lesson, just like the children that were here earlier today, and they had a great time. Right, I'm going to go through the chat room very, very quickly and see who else we can say hello to. If you're watching this, don't be afraid, put a message into the chat room. We've only got around about 5 minutes of the show left, but if I do see your message, I will try and say hi. And I didn't know Julie had fallen in the canal, and she said, yeah, I fell in. At least they're not too deep, are they? Hey, there we go. There's some vehicles actually going by at the moment. In fact, just before we get to the next interview, I'm going to show you a couple of tanks that were going around just before the show started. So we're going in a bit of a stranger order, but hey, that's the way it comes. So let's get back into the video, and don't forget, please put a message into the chat room. It's wonderful to see your messages. Even if I don't read them all out, I do go through them all later. And thank you so much, everybody, for just supporting Airshow World. Let's get into the video camera one more time. And that is literally right behind me. I mean, that was just a quick practice run for a few of the vehicles going round. It's going to be a real battle going on in there, and with all the explosions and everything else. Gilly and Peter, a quick message they've just put in, and hey, are you actually going to Mildenhall as well? If you are, wow, it would be wonderful to see you. So just put the message in. Are you going to be there next week? It'd be good to see you. And Transport Guy, yes, I kept thinking, I know his name begins with a J, and it's Jason. Hello, Jason. Thank you. And he's the man. Jamie. It's Jamie. Sorry, I do apologise. No, it's Jamie. I just you see, when I'm doing this, I literally just have to skim read the things, because I've got so many things going on, and of course you make the mistakes and all the rest of it. All right, who else? John Bullens there. Truly great show. I've loved it. Well, we've still got a couple of more items to come, and I think right now we're gonna go not into the woods, but we're going to go onto the field to learn about this fantastic vehicle with Steve asking the questions. I was moving around with the camera and giving a bit of a sway. Let's have a look. Let's get there right now.
So whilst at the Victory Show, there are a number of different reenactment groups, down from the individual soldier, moving up from some of their equipment. There's also aircraft here on display, but right now we'd like to show you one of the vehicles on display, and this vehicle belongs to the chap here, Mark. Hello, Mark.
Hiya. Yeah, so I'm just going to run through. This is an International Harvester, half-track. International were brought in midway during the contract which White's had to build them, and they were basically filling the stopgap to produce more. International Harvester actually made a lot of changes to the main design, thinking they were doing better. They were a tractor, they were used to doing heavy engineering. It made a lot of improvements, I would say. A White's owner wouldn't say that. Basically what happened after that, once they had all been delivered, the US government looked at them because of the changes to the design. The US government were very much wanted everything standardised, so they shipped all of the International Harvester stock over to Russia, to the Britons, as the Lend-Lease agreement was in place. So near enough all of them served over here. They kept very few in America, so you don't see them in America at all, really. This one is an anti-aircraft, and it was sent over as an anti-aircraft. It was an M14, which means it had two 50 cal machine guns originally. Got here, the British government looked at it and said, well, that's underpowered and we're winning the war in the air. What we actually want is a gun tractor. So they removed the turret and basically used it in Italy to pull guns up through the mountains. That is where this one served. So she's actually done up in the original 6 Armoured, which is where she served and what she served in. And like I said, pulled probably the big guns up through. The roundel on the front is there because it was actually 6 Armoured was in North Africa and in Italy, and it sort of predates the Americans doing the Star, the Invasion Star. So the roundel was there obviously to mark that it was an Allied vehicle, but that Allied vehicle marking wasn't standardised at that point.
So it's got nothing to do necessarily with the RAF. It's not an RAF vehicle. It's more just an Allied identification marking.
It was done to the RAF standard, so they would identify it, but it wasn't associated to RAF. Exactly. Yeah. So, so this vehicle did serve in Italy. It was also used by the Britons post-war, and probably stayed in service to the 60s. Not sure when. The history sort of dies out at that point. It's then picked up and used in the film A Bridge Too Far. So 2 M14s were used in A Bridge Too Far. This was one of them. After the film was done, it was just left in a barn in the Netherlands. A collector in Cornwall picked both of them up. The other one's still in Cornwall. They're both restored at the same time. And this one's just made its way around the South Country with different owners now. So pretty much restored in the 90s, and runs lovely, really.
Yeah,
so the guns were put in when she was restored. So that's
we'll move down, actually.
Yeah. So this is a standard Maxim turret with the 450 cals on. Gets called the meat chopper. Obviously, it's originally designed as an anti-aircraft gun, but pretty quickly found it was good against troop assaults on the ground. It's all run with electric motors, so we can actually run it off the battery which is on there. And she has a motor around here on the back, which is purely a generator to recharge the battery.
Okay.
Yeah. So the tombstones on the side there actually hold 250 rounds per gun, and within the armour here you actually have another 1,000 rounds already loaded, and then you have a load of storage in the bottom here where you actually have all the chains ready to load back into the tombstones. So.
Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you very much for taking time to talk to us about our vehicle. It's very interesting.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
And very, very interesting indeed. Okay, hey, we've got time for one more feature, and for me, it was the best part of today with the warbirds. You know, I love my warbirds. Well, hey, we're going to see a few of them right now. Okay, I'll be back again to say thank you to everybody and have a good night and all that. I will do that in around about 2 minutes from now. Okay, so stay where you are. Just running a little bit late. Here we go.
downwind leg, boys.
Roger.
Mustang slamming.
Two was turning downwind left hand. Mustang left turn on your parking the south side of the field beyond the air traffic control place opposite a wet white tent, and you'll see a marshaller there with a vehicle with flashing lights on it.
Copy all, thanks.
One all the way again. Ready?
As you can see, the daylight has just about gone. The sun has definitely set, and hey, the party goes on as we there you go. I think that's where we're going to head for the beer tent over there, and get a few beers in. And but hey, that's what tonight's been all about. Not beer, but the Victory Show. It's this weekend, and it opens tomorrow. Gates open 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and hey, come down. You'll have a fantastic time. And Stu Bear will be here tomorrow, and Steve will be also here as well, doing his little bit. And a big thank you to Steve, and I've got to thank him so much for those wonderful interviews that he actually did. And we'll say, hey, good night from what's your name?
I'm Steve. Hi, Steve from SHGP Media. Thanks very much, guys, for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it tonight. So let us know if you did enjoy the interviews, and say we'll look to do some more of them. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, what a man. And especially thank you to everybody out there. Fantastic. I'm so pleased that my good friends Gilly and Peter, we will see them next week down at Mildenhall. And just one last quick mention. A couple of people said, hey, is it live? You're live this weekend? No, definitely not live. If you see any strange links going out at the moment that is saying like the Victory Show live, click here and then click something in the messages, right, it's a scam. Do not follow it. And also they've been doing it for the Bournemouth live stream as well, so just be a little bit cautious. The only people that were down here, well, of course tonight and in the daytime, was Airshow World, and the only people and the only channel to go to for tomorrow's Bournemouth Airshow is Plains TV, our good friends at Plains TV. Okay, so do not go to any other link whatever you do, because it's a scam, and you'll probably find they'll steal your data, they'll steal your woman, they'll take anything. But yeah, just be a little bit cautious and aware of that. But I've got just 30 seconds left because we've got to get out of here because it's getting very dark and I'm getting thirsty and hungry. So Morris Moon, cheers to, have a great weekend, and we'll see Morris next Thursday and certainly on Friday down at Duxford. And who else can we say bye to? Transport Guy, great to meet you the other day, and have yourself a fantastic day when you come here on Sunday. I'm drinking Stella at the moment, says Mark Webber Webster. Coningsby Live, check him out, and thank you for joining us tonight. And everybody else, Sommill, Dickon McVitie, I think he sent me a message. I've got your DVD with me. And the last other message before I do go, the first 5 winners of those DVDs who are members, they are in the post. All right, so you should get those in the next couple of days, your DVDs. I'll tell you more about the membership and everything else on another time. We've got lots of other ideas we're floating at the moment. All right, but until next time, have yourself a absolutely wonderful weekend, and hey, come over to this great location, Foxlands Farm at Cosby in South Leicestershire, around about 4 or 5 miles south of Leicester. Take care. I will catch you on the next live show. Look out for the live shows next week from Mildenhall. Bye for now. Bye bye.